While the U.S. decided last month that it would no longer refuel Saudi aircraft conducting strike missions over Yemen, the Pentagon still expects to be compensated for the outstanding costs accrued between March 2015 and November of this year. Specifically, the U.S. is working to recoup approximately $36.8 million for fuel and $294.3 million for flight hours, according to Pentagon spokesperson CMDR. Rebecca Rebarek, who noted that partners have been individually notified about how much they owe. U.S. Central Command reviewed its records and found errors in accounting where we failed to charge the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia (KSA) and the United Arab Emirates (UAE) adequately for fuel and refueling services. USCENTCOM calculated the correct charges, and Department of Defense is in the process of seeking reimbursement, she said in a statement to CNN. This is good news for U.S. taxpayers and underscores the need for strong oversight of the Department of Defense. The American people should not be forced to bear these costs, and I am encouraged DoD is taking steps to get full reimbursement, Reid said in a statement. But while Reid commended the Pentagon for correcting its accounting mistake, he also made clear that the larger issue remains the ongoing conflict in Yemen between the coalition and Houthi rebels that has resulted in the largest humanitarian disaster facing the world in recent memory. The Trump administration and international community must capitalize on the progress that has been made during the Yemen peace talks in Sweden, Reid said in a statement. It must be made clear to both the Saudi-led coalition and the Houthis that there is no military solution to this conflict and the time has come to reach a sustainable negotiated settlement. It is time for this war to stop, he added. In a statement Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo commended the progress made during the Yemen talks in Sweden, calling the announcement of a ceasefire in the besieged rebel port city of Hodeidah a pivotal first step. All parties have an opportunity to build upon this momentum and improve the lives of all Yemenis. Moving forward, all must continue to engage, de-escalate tensions, and cease ongoing hostilities. This is the best way to give these and future consultations a chance to succeed, he said. But as talks continue, the Senate made clear on Thursday that it wants to end U.S. involvement in the conflict. Lawmakers overwhelmingly approved a resolution by a 56-41 vote that would require the U.S. to end its military support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen, a move aimed both at ending that war and expressing anger at the Trump administration's handling of relations with Saudi Arabia. While the U.S. no longer refuels coalition aircraft, the U.S. military does provide the Saudi-led coalition with intelligence focused on helping to defend against Houthi cross-border missile and drone attacks. U.S. personnel in Saudi Arabia also advised the coalition on processes and procedures and the law of armed conflict, efforts the Pentagon says are aimed at helping to prevent civilian casualties. The vote on the Yemen resolution reflected the frustration senators from parties both have with the vast human suffering from the war and President Donald Trump's embrace of the Crown Prince despite widely accepted evidence from U.S. intelligence agencies that he ordered the killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Senator Mike Lee, Utah and Sen. Bernie Sanders, Vermont, utilized the War Powers Act to attempt to force an end to U.S. involvement in the war, even as GOP leaders argued it wasn't necessary because the U.S. was not directly involved in